Thanks for watching the Market Day Report. I'm Janet Adkisson. Well, today marks the final of 6 days of hearings before the United States Trade Representative in Washington, D.C. Witnesses are commenting on the administration's proposed $200 billion in tariffs against Chinese goods. RFD-TV's Sarah Mock joins us live. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, Janet. Well, as you said, we're coming to the last couple of hours of what has been a marathon of a hearing, 6 full days before the U.S. Trade Representative, with industries across the nation commenting on those $200 billion worth of tariffs, which of course are proposed by the administration in response to China's retaliatory $34 billion worth of tariffs in this kind of tit-for-tat escalating trade war. Now, one interesting thing about these hearings is that we're not seeing kind of what you think of as the traditional ag groups there. With tariffs as high as 50 and 70% on some key ag products like pork, soybeans, and apples in China. This new $200 billion worth of tariffs didn't actually include very many ag products. Those were more or less primarily hit in many of the earlier rounds of tariffs. There weren't that many left, and so many of the bigger ag groups have decided to kind of stay on the sidelines. They feel that they've already made their voices heard in this discussion. So we saw a number of kind of smaller groups, more fringe groups that you'd think of in ag, testifying before the USTR this week. One of those includes the U.S. Fur Council. We heard from Ryan Holt, a mink farmer from Utah, who made and also a member of that U.S. Fur conference. He made a very eloquent argument about kind of, very much in support of the administration's efforts to stop Chinese trade, kind of negative trade practices. But he also said that, of course, if fur skins remain on that list of tariffs that the U.S. Trade Representative proposed against China, and U.S. fur is likely to face retaliatory tariffs, there'll be more than 30% tariffs on U.S. fur coming into China, which will make them uncompetitive against Europe. They've, of course, requested to get fur skins off of that list and hopefully kind of keep those lines of trade open for one of the U.S.'s kind of smaller ag industries, but still a very important one to many farmers across the country. Now, of course, we also saw comments from a number of other ag groups, and surprisingly, many of them were not kind of staunchly opposed to these tariffs, as we've seen from most of kind of the ag sector, who has said, do no harm, trade is very important, we can't have tariffs. We've heard from kind of garlic producers in California, as well as honeybee producers, who have seen China be very negative and for their industry and kind of breaking some trade rules. We heard them come out very much in support along the line that we saw U.S. Steel or U.S. Aluminum, very much hoping that the administration continues to support their industry by imposing these tariffs against things, as simple and small as mushrooms coming in from China or honey coming in from China. They're interested and excited about the potential tariffs that are coming out of this administration on that list of several thousand products. Of course, other people are concerned about kind of the far-reaching effects of this on consumers, especially consumers in ag-related industries. But we'll have more updates for you on that later this morning. But until then, back to you, Janet.
Thanks again, Sarah. Well, more than 6,000